Hello and welcome back to Dragon Quest Small Tutorials. I'm Koichi ZZ, and in this video we're going to go over the Journey of Awakening that is going to be for the Killer Armor. So going to be in this quest here. So going to have a couple of things going on right now, but I want to mainly focus on the Journey of Awakening for the Killer Armor. So pretty much this is going to be like your standard Journeys of Awakening. So going to be meant for higher level players. So this is going to be from Friday from 3 p.m. to Sunday to 2:49 p.m. So a 48-hour period. So pretty much for this, everything that you have is going to be just like the regular Journeys of Awakening. So you want to open the quest and defeat the enemies in order to get soul pearl fragments in order to actually create treasure soul pearls. So what's going to be different about this Journey of Awakening from the previous ones. In this case, for the previous ones, we actually had a soul cost level if you want to meet certain types of enemies or actually have more encounters with them. But this time, we actually have no soul cost restriction, and there is no restriction on the use of support characters. So instead, what we're going to have is that all your characters are going to have increases to their critical hit and spell crit rate damage. So that's actually going to be quite good. But unfortunately, some of the enemies are going to have sudden activation skills, so mostly going to be ones that are going to lower your agility, so decreasing your initiative, so making enemies go first. But I do have a strategy to fight against that I will go over in this video. Then also for this, again, we're going to have an enemy that is going to infiltrate the battles at the end of certain battles. It's not going to be every battle, but you've seen him before. So in this case, when you defeat that enemy, you will be able to get a Soul Pearl box for the 6th anniversary event. So that's actually going to be that there. Then also, besides that, we're also going to have the Killer Armor rare monster quest. So with that, defeating or clearing the quest, when you do that, the chances of you encountering the Killer Armor on the field during this quest is going to actually increase. So that's going to be that there. So in terms of what you need to do for this quest, like I said, you need to actually open the quest and start questing in it, but you do not want to actually close the quest or finish the quest. You want to go around and defeat the enemies in order to get treasure soul pearls. So or treasure soul fragments. Once you have enough treasure soul fragments, you will be able to go into the exchange and buy the treasure soul pearl. So in this case, just like all the other ones, you're going to need 8,000 fragments in order to get all 4 treasure soul pearls from the exchange. So once you have all 4 treasure soul pearls and the 5th one that you get for actually clearing the quest, you can then upgrade the S grade soul to the S star grade for the Killer Armor. So that's going to be information regarding that there. So in terms of the enemies that are going to appear, going to be quite a few of them. So in this case, there isn't going to be differentiation between night and day, so all of them will actually be coming out. So here, the first one is going to be a blood mummy, which is going to be weak to Gira, Jibaria, Bagi, Mera, Zaba. And effective skills or debuffs used going to be sleep and curse. Then after that, we're going to have a demon pot, which is going to be weak to Zaba. The actual debuff that it uses is going to be sleep, and then it actually does have a sudden activation skill, which is going to have a rare chance to actually cause Boimyosu, which is going to actually lower your agility. Then after that, we're going to have the Jellyman, again going to be weak to Hyado Dorma. We're going to have the Droll, which is going to be weak to Gita, Hyado, Zaba, Bagi, Io, Mera, Dane. We're going to have the Wandering Armor, which is going to be weak to Jibaria. And also, in this case, going to be specifically weak to physical technique damage. Same with the Megazaru Rock, going to be specifically weak to physical technique damage, going to be weak to Bagi and Dorma. Then we're going to have the Man-Eating box, which is again going to be weak, especially weak to physical technique damage, going to be weak to Jibaria Zaba, going to use debuff of sleep. Special skill use is going to be sudden death, and then also a rare chance to actually lower your agility. After that, we're going to have the Undead Man, which is going to be weak to Gira, Io, Mera, and Hyado. We're going to have the Crystal Hand, which is going to be weak to Hyado, Jibaria, Gira, Io, Mera, and debuff U is going to be Curse. We're going to have the Magician, which is going to be weak to Dorma, Zaba, Gira, Mera, and in this case, going to have Ikinari Fubaha, which is going to be sudden activation Fubaha, which is going to increase resistances to breath damage for the enemies. Then we're going to have the Flower Zombie, which is going to be weak to Jibaria, Dane, Bagi, Gira, Mera, and Io. And in this case, going to have a sudden activation for tension boost. Then we're also going to have the Wadai Bukuro, so the Laughing Bag. So this one going to be specifically weak to physical technique damage, going to be weak to Zaba and Io. Debuffs used are going to be Silence and Confusion. Then we're going to have the Dark Sylph, which is going to be weak to Bagi, Jibaria, Hyado, Io. Debuffs used Confusion. Special skills used going to be Sudden Death. Then after that, also going to have a sudden activation ability for Magic Barrier. Then we'll have the Killer Armor itself, again going to be weak to physical technique damage, going to also be weak to Dorma and Dane damage, and also again going to have a sudden activation ability, which is going to be called Big Shield. So Ikinari Big Shield, which is going to increase its guard rate. Then here I'm going to skip the question mark real quick, but here we're going to have the Metal Angel. So again, that's going to be Metal type enemy. So it's weak, it's resistance to all attributes, and only weapon and physical technique damage can actually attack it. Then here for the question mark enemy, this is going to be the enemy that is going to be infiltrating the battles after you actually clear a battle. So this enemy, if you remember from main story quest 16, the last boss was the Hametsu no Golem, or the Hakai no Golem, so the destruction golem. So this pretty much purple like electricity type of golem, this is going to be this particular enemy's, or this Journey of Awakening's infiltrating monster. So with this, going to be particularly weak to physical technique damage, going to be weak to Dane, Gira, and Hado. Then it's also going to have sudden activation ability, which is going to be negative debuff guard. So that's going to be not so bad. And like I said, I do have a team to actually go up against this particular Journey of Awakening. So in terms of upgrading to the S Star Grade Soul, in terms of conditions needed, that's going to be your standard conditions that you would need to upgrade to a S Star Grade Soul, which is going to be have cleared main story quest 10. You need to have a S Grade Soul, and you need to have 5 Treasure Soul Pearls. Then in terms of getting the Treasure Soul Pearls, again, you're going to need to clear the quest, and 2, purchase all of them in the exchange. Again, you're going to need 8,000 fragments for that. So one other thing about this is that in terms of using metal satchels and also the use of the underworld perfumes, once you actually use those, the regular enemies for the field battles here in this quest will no longer appear, and main story quest enemies will appear. But you can actually still encounter the destruction golem on the field in terms of that. So pretty much I actually have said in the past about doing the Journeys of Awakening that pretty much you should expect to die a lot when you actually do these quests. But for this particular Journey of Awakening, while I do not have the recommended weapon for this, which is going to be the Dragon Fist, I believe it's called, in this case, or the Dragon Head. In this case, I actually have found this team here, that actually makes me take my words back. And actually, with this team, I can actually thrive in this Journey of Awakening and get through it with pretty much no problem, and almost most of the time not having any of my characters die. So that's actually quite a feat. So here I'm going to introduce this team. So the first character I'm going to have is going to be a demon swordsman equipped with the God Eater Greatsword. So since most of the characters or enemies in this particular Journey of Awakening are going to be weak to Gita, I'm going to have souls on this character that are going to be Gita based. So that's going to be for this particular character. Then here, this is going to be a demon equipped with the banner of the white hero. So this particular weapon is going to actually have an ability that does damage to all enemies, and in this case the damage that I'm looking for in this case is going to be Dane damage. This is going to be especially good when I actually come up against the destruction golems, so that should actually work out well. Then this is going to be the star of the actual Journey of Awakening. So this is going to be my Guardian. So my Guardian is going to be equipped with the large paw print rice scooper. So with this weapon, if you remember, the main ability actually puts enemies into a deep sleep, and that actually causes them to not wake up easily. So you can actually go at it on the enemies with no problem. So this is going to be one of the main reasons why you can actually thrive in this particular battle and actually have no problems at all. So things should actually go well. Then over here, this is going to be a ninja equipped with Claw of the Dragon Queen. So if you remember, this particular weapon has two types of breath damage. So one is Dharma base and one is Gita base. So here I'm going to be using this for Gita base. So besides that, you also have a chance to blow enemies away with that breath damage. And not only that, with this weapon here, you can actually blow enemies or knock enemies out of the battle. So that's actually going to be a double whammy with these two particular characters. So that said, I actually want to go ahead into the battles and show you what it's going to be like. So here, let's go. So here we have 4 enemies. We also have a support character. Not sure if the support character is going to be any good, but here in this case, all the enemies put to sleep. So that's actually working out for me quite well so far. So here with breath damage, let's see if I can blow anyone away. So one of the crystal hands got blown away. So here, 2 of the enemies down. And the red mummy, blood mummy there is still asleep after being hit so many times. And yeah, with that there, down. Over 100,000 damage. So again, going to go into a battle. Again, 4 enemies, so 2 demon pots, undead man, and then also a jelly man. So in this case, pretty much having it in a walk mode, the computer decided to use that particular ability. If I was doing it myself, I would have still done the other ability just to put the enemies to sleep. But again, one of the abilities, the sudden activation abilities of the large paw print rice scooper is going to be lowering the agility of the enemies here. So that's actually going to be quite good on my part. So in this case, okay, so none of my characters actually died. Again, use that ability. I'm not sure why it does that. But most likely with this turn here, these enemies should actually go down. Okay, so taken down. Okay, and on to the next battle. So here are only 3 enemies. So again, most likely going to have my characters go here. So here, this is the ability that I want. So put them all to sleep, even if I don't really understand why the computer makes certain decisions, which is why a lot of times you really need to actually do a lot of things manually. So there, that was my support character. Thank you. Here, possibly could blow someone away. So blew 2 of the enemies away. Nice. So with this here, attack and down. Okay. So here, another battle. So pretty much I'm going into these battles mainly not just to show you the team, but I actually want to encounter the Destruction Golem just to show you what that's going to be like for it to infiltrate the battle and how well this team actually does work. So again there, all the enemies taken out, pretty much almost no damage whatsoever. So like I was saying, this team actually goes in. So I rarely have deaths with this particular team, like everything. And there, both of the characters got blown away. So that was an easy battle. So yeah, like I said. Okay, so actually here, not an infiltration battle, but we do actually have the Destruction Golem on the field with the regular enemies. So with this here, should actually be no problem. Most likely here I can get rid of the Wandering Armor, or there I got rid of the pot, but that's fine. Here, definitely the Wandering Armor will go down. Or maybe not. But it's nothing to actually worry too much about. Especially with this turn coming up. Nice guard. So here, 3 characters at high tension. So there goes the Wandering Armor. So most likely with this next attack, maybe. Or maybe not. But here, possibly could go down here. Yeah, so down. And, ooh. And an infiltration as well. And still have high tension. So probably with this particular turn, I might be able to take them all down, especially with the next attack that I have with my Demon Swordsman. So this attack here is could possibly take them all down. 2 of them down. So definitely, let's see there, not done, but okay, clone technique, so going again, but down. Okay. So pretty much with 4 Destruction Golems, that was alone, that is actually close to 400 fragments with just 1 battle. Okay, so like you saw there, that was going to be the battles that I had. So like I said, this team actually thrives in this particular journey of awakening. I got no deaths. I mean, I was close to death sometimes, but none of my characters actually died, so that actually worked out quite well. Then you saw in that one battle, I actually had a Destruction Golem come in a regular field battle. Then after that battle was over, I had an infiltration battle with 3 other Destruction Golems, so I was actually able to get close to 400 fragments for that particular battle alone, so that's actually quite a bit. So Yeah, definitely. If you have these particular weapons uh, in your inventory, you definitely want to use them, especially if you don't have the latest weapon as well. So yeah, that's going to be that there. So now what I would like to do is actually go over the soul for the killer armor. So that's going to be, let's see, it's going to be a blue soul. I need an S. So going to be down, actually, let me do one more for Jibaria. So going to be right here. So here, this is going to be the S grade soul for the killer armor. So with blue souls, again, blue souls, your basic stats, the good ones are going to be in your max HP, your strength sometimes, here not so much, and then your agility and dexterity. So here, 114 for your max HP, strength 79, that's not that great, but it's just under where it actually would be good. But 102 for your agility and dexterity. Then in terms of abilities, you're actually going to have Kingdom Sword. I've actually gone over this in the past. It's pretty much a physical technique, does weapon damage to all enemies while also lowering their defenses as well. So that's going to be Kingdom Sword. Then besides that, you're going to get plus 7% to your weapon and physical technique skill damage, plus 7% to Jibaria weapon and physical technique damage, plus 7% to EO resistance, and plus 7% to having your or defenses to having your or resistance to having your defenses lowered. So that's going to be that particular soul there. Now, in terms of the S star grade soul, which is going to be over here, this is going to be slightly different. So here you're going to actually see us quite a good boost to certain stats, especially going to be the ones on the left. So you're going to have, for your basic stats, 147 for your max HP, 89 for your max MP, 102 for your strength, 99 for your durability. So that's all pretty good. Then in terms of the ones on the right, your dexterity and also your agility going to be 125. So now here, we still have Kingdom Sword, but it's going to be Kingdom Sword Zan. So this is going to be a bit different. So what I want to do is, or after this, I'll actually go over that particular ability. But besides that, here now, the things that are going to be different is that now weapon and physical technique skill damage actually has been separated. So you're going to have plus 10% to weapon physical technique skill damage, plus 8% to physical technique weapon skill damage, 8% to physical technique skill damage, plus 10% to Jibaria weapon and physical technique damage, plus 7% to EO resistance, which hasn't changed, but here plus 10% to lowered defenses resistance. So that's going to be that there. So what I want to do now is actually show you the actual stats of the souls. So here I want to actually go over equipped that one there, and also equip. Okay, I can't have both of them on at the same time. So here, then let's change things up real quick. So here, I want to show you the differences between Kingdom Sword, regular Kingdom Sword, and Kingdom Sword Zan. So over here we're going to have, let's see, going to be right over here. So with this, regular Kingdom Sword is going to cost 27 MP, and with this, it's going to do 210% weapon damage to all characters, with a rare chance to lower their defenses. So that's going to be Kingdom Sword. Now, if we go ahead and switch the souls out over here, okay, I have to take it off first, then put it back on. So here now what I can do is go ahead and show you the differences for Kingdom Sword Zan. So here going to cost 38 MP. With this, it's actually going to do 480% weapon damage to all enemies. But not only that, the attack from this particular skill cannot be guarded nor evaded, so it's going to be a hit. Then besides that, before it was a rare chance, here is now just a chance to lower your enemy's defenses. So that's going to be the differences between Kingdom Sword and Kingdom Sword Zan. So that's going to be everything in regards to this Journey of Awakening. So with that said, I want to go ahead and end this video here. So in terms of the end of the year, we have a lot of things going on. Probably for the next video, what I want to do is actually go over the latest Mega Monster, which is going to be the new version of Destruction God Shido, which is going to be Evil God of Destruction Shido. So please stay tuned for that. But with that said, I'm going to end this video here. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.